Charles, before we start, I have to thank you for taking some time to talk with me, and I really appreciate that.
Pokušaj su Sulejmani. Sulejmani je brži.
Let's start with the first question. Your beginnings, who were your idols? What was the most important thing that when you started to play basketball professionally, what made you to start?
That's a good question. Well, from young, my dad played basketball in college, and he played in the Navy. So just being around him, he always watched sports, always watched basketball, always watched the Knicks. And I had an older brother who played as well. So just being around them two all the time, it was like destined, I guess, for me to play basketball.
Like family thing.
Family thing, and all my friends and my cousins, we all played. So I idolized them growing up just because I didn't watch as many NBA games. It was kind of late when I was young. So as I got older, I started to gain more and more respect for the game and understanding that you need to work hard if you want to play basketball. But to be honest, I didn't want to play professional. I just wanted to go to college for free. When I was younger, my dad never spoke about NBA. Or
was it like kind of hobby?
Nah, it was like, if you play basketball, then we don't have to pay for you to go to college. And that was like my main motivation up until I got to college.
I heard earlier that your statement, you want to be a mechanic.
No, that's not. It wasn't
Is
like
it correct?
That. When I was in high school, I didn't get like big college interest for a long time. So it was, I want to say like November, and I had no college offers. And a friend of mine who was same grade as me, he was already going to school to become a mechanic. So I was thinking at the time, like, because I didn't have no colleges, like that was like a better option for me, because it was only like maybe like $1,000 to go in school. You go to school for 1 year, and then the next year you have like a job. And I was thinking about it, and I had one like really, really good game in front of some colleges, and then I got some calls like the next week. So
well, before you got the offer from US team, did you think about coming to Europe?
I had no idea about European basketball. Like I said, I don't have much friends that play sports.
Yeah, like overseas thing.
Yeah,
and
none of my closest friends play professional basketball. They have like normal jobs. So it never crossed my mind.
Yeah,
I didn't meet any other basketball players that were serious about basketball until I got to college.
So is it correct to say you didn't know almost anything about European basketball?
Nothing at all until I got to college.
Yeah, well, that's very astonishing, but now it's so different.
Yeah, exactly.
And are you working on it to make closer European basketball to your friends in US?
I think just because of social media now, that a lot of my friends are understanding European basketball. So you have like Swiss Cultures or Across the Water Basketball, those two pages that highlight what Americans are doing in Europe. So a lot of my friends are aware of European basketball. Plus, I played 10 years here, so they're all aware of the competition, how high it is, who we play, the countries we go to. So a lot of people are more informed now, thanks to social media.
Yeah. Let's go to the next question. Since you were playing Red Star for 3 occasions, different, is there anything specific that you would like to point out in those periods? Like, what were the differences in those 3 periods?
Oh, okay. The first year I was like a fish out of water. Honestly, I had no idea about living alone, how hard it is to play in Serbia as far as the pressure to win every game, just a Serbian mentality that basically every day is like your last, so to give you 100%. And I was like, it was a tough adjustment for me because in college, there's always tomorrow. Like that's the kind of mentality that we had, and to get here and to be the complete opposite as far as the rhythm you had to be in, the mental focus you had for games. I'm playing in a real rivalry Just kind of like the atmosphere around Belgrade when there's a big game, when there's a win, when there's a loss. So there was a lot of pressure that I felt my first year. And I remember Blake Shield told me when I first got here, like, you'll learn a lot about Europe in December because that's normally when teams change players if they're not playing well. So I remember being super nervous about my performances and wondering if Red Star was going to cut me when I made it to December. And then being able to just overcome everything. And then my second season, getting more used to it, having a lot more relationships with my teammates, feeling more comfortable with coach, and being able to have some struggles and overcome them and understand the kind of support that I had here to make me, the player I am or the reason that I feel, so comfortable in
that's
Serbia.
the things, the time.
Yeah, and then
brings.
The final season, it was just like coming back home. I had coach that I know, teammates that I've known for years that we kept in communication, and it was just like being so comfortable here that I basically.
Did you feel some nostalgia while you were in Italy, Milan, or Khimki?
Say it again?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, of course. It's just the roles change. Being in Red Star for those good years, I was always like in a position to help the team. I felt when it was an important ball, coach gave me the opportunity to take the shot, or if it was the fourth quarter, I knew like 100% I was going to be in the game when the game was on the line. My first experience of that not happening was going to Milan, and there was a lot of games where I didn't have the ball when the game was on the line, or some fourth quarters I didn't play at all. So it was a crazy adjustment, and I always talk about how supportive Dejan was when I was in Milan, and also our strength coach at the time, Draghi. They were all in full communication about my struggles and what they felt I can do to be a better player, and also telling me that when the season's done, you can come back to Belgrade and we'll accept you. So that was like an important time for me just to grow up and understand that roles are going to change wherever you go, and being able to accept whatever things that a coach want to give you. When I got to Khimki, I was more comfortable as far as playing with Alexei and knowing that he's in high demand offensively, and just trying to figure out how I can help and still be a part of the game, even though I didn't have some balls. But
was it frustrating for you to not have the ball? Because in the rest it was...
it was frustrating in Milan, just because it was the first time I ever experienced it. I didn't think it was possible for me to play a full game. And
that was unknown thing for you.
It was weird, but going to Khimki, I played with Tyler Honeycutt for a year. And the summer before I went there, he called me and he basically explained to me, like, you can play with Alexei. He got a high demand for shots and pick and rolls that he liked to play. And to just try to, when I get to the team, just try to find my role immediately, and I'll be, comfortable for the rest of the season. And I took on the role as best defender and take some corner shots when I was open. Yeah. I was happy with it.
Did you feel at some point like you can help the team, but you don't get the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every player kind of feel like that. Especially like in practice, you get more of an opportunity to play, pick and roll and some things like that. But when you're playing for, a high caliber player like that, you have to also understand and be honest with yourself. Like, are you capable of doing what
as
you
always?
Do? Or are you better off, playing this role, which can help the team as well? So I was able to just accept it and move on.
Well, you played with many players throughout your career. Who was the toughest to cooperate, and who was the most you get along with?
I don't think I've had a teammate that I didn't get along with. So to say the most, I can name like everybody. You're talking about in Serbia or
everywhere, but let's say for Red Star specific.
For Red Star, my first year, Jakub Blazic and I lived in the same building for 2 years. So we did everything together. We, had dinner after practice together all the time. We drove to practice. We played the same position, so we spent a lot of time like eating and watching highlights or watching games together. So I think for my first year, Jakub and I like were really, really close. The next season, Marcus Williams came. So, he was new to Belgrade, so we had like a really good relationship. I think that team, we were really, really close because a lot of guys were young and we played a lot of video games like together. So Marcus, Luka, Jakub, and like a few other players that we all liked. But I was always like involved. Like no matter if it was a group of players that played video games, I was playing. You know, if it was a group of players that liked to go out, I was with them as well. So.
Well, Jaka is very good defensive player at first. Did you think maybe that thing makes you close together? Like you are a very good defensive player.
Nah, it was. I mean, like Jaka and I, we made each other better a lot. So we always like competed. So in practice, we weren't really like friends in practice. We always like
efficient rivalry
and things like that. But I think we established a relationship as friends first because we lived in the same building and we both like did everything together.
Yeah, on Marcus Williams at that time you were playing with him. A lot of fans were saying you are EuroLeague splash brothers like Steph and Clay. What's your thoughts about that?
Nah, not at all. I think that season I played so bad in the beginning that I mean it was easy to. It was like the complete opposite. Like I played horrible in the beginning, and Marcus was amazing. He helped us get to the top 16. So I don't think that was the case, but there was a time where you know we both played well and we looked like some kind of duo. But that team was really good, man. We had a Kalinic that was amazing. He was probably other than Boban, he was like the most consistent player that we had who played great the entire season. So I mean, I wouldn't say that we were like no splash, but we had some games where we play well together.
Yeah, well, you were similar at some moments. Mm-hmm. It's like kind of fine thing. Couple of times before, you stated that you have ambitions to be a coach after you finish your career.
Yeah.
What would you at some point hire some of your former teammates or of pitch collaborators for your coaching staff, or it could be someone you haven't worked with so far?
Oh, you asked me would I hire a teammate as a coach?
Yeah, like if you're a coach, like let's say hypothetically, you are right now coach.
In Serbia?
Anywhere. Like, would you hire some of your former teammates or co-workers, like people from club, or it would be someone you haven't worked with so far?
I think I would try to like get some coach with experience.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe add like a couple of teammates. Mm-hmm. Just so there's people that see the game different than myself. Like Marcus, I think Marcus would be a really good coach because there was a lot of times when we played together, he pointed out things that I had no idea, like what was going on. So he had like an amazing like eye for the game. He was able to read the game well, and he was a point guard. So it's like your main responsibility is to see the game different from everyone else. So I think he would make like a really good coach. Simke been speaking about his passion to be a coach after he finished his career for so long. Like I think he would help. I would want to hire him and maybe like some coach with some type of experience that have been in like
your coach staff would be Simke and Marcus.
Simke, Marcus
at the main.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there was many tough situations on the pitch. What was the one that made you nervous as never? Until now.
I mean, the Adriatic Final Four in 2014, we lost to Sabona.
I remember this.
That was bad. That was the most nervous. I think we played them. Oh, my memory's pretty good. We played Sabona during our Euro Cup run, and we were losing the entire game. And I think we went on like a 20-0 run at the end. And we ended up winning like maybe by like 10 or something. And of course, at that time, it was like amazing because that happened, but also it made us like too comfortable because we were losing the whole game and then we flipped the switch and then we ended up winning. So feeling the pressure to bring Red Star back to EuroLeague that year, the Final Four being in Belgrade, I think everybody anticipated on Red Star versus Partizan in the finals. And just like the anticipation that entire week, how we felt, how confident we felt that we were going to beat them. And then to lose and to feel like the energy throughout the city, how everyone was like.
There was pressure, everyone accepted very much.
Yeah, and it was pressured in for a long time. And then we ended up losing KLS that year to Partizan too. So I remember like wanting to go home, going back to the stage just to not feel the energy like around the club.
To pull out, like to take some rest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have several difficult games ahead of you in the ABA League in short period of time right now. Do you think there is a team that can threat the team ranking right now? There is a team.
Asiatic League is competitive. Zadar's playing really good at home. We play a Champions League team. Eagle K on Sunday is a really good team. We also have Partizan coming up next. So those are 3 teams that we play within the next 4 games. That's going to give us a challenge. And also Sabona plays good at home. So I think the best thing about us is no matter like what our record is right now, we don't overlook any teams. You know, we don't say like, okay, we're 6-1, so that means that we're gonna walk in the gym and beat the next team. We all have like motivation. I think coach has the motivation to prove that he's a really good coach, and we have motivation to prove that for me myself that I can still play. And we got young players that want to prove that they're ready to take some responsibilities and play well as well. So I think we have like a perfect balance to where we don't overlook any teams. We go game by game and see what happens.
Do you like to make your teammates, especially younger one, to compete with you like good rivalry to improve themselves?
We practice a lot. So just to be able to compete, it helps, the environment. So I think, of course, talking to each other, talking trash sometimes, competing, making jokes and things like that. I think it brings the team closer. It brings the environment, the atmosphere better, makes the practices better. So of course, I like being around the young guys.
Considering that you are the player with the probably most significant experience in the team, do the other teammates, especially the younger ones, come for advice while preparing for matches, especially the difficult ones?
No, I think just because like just playing in Serbia, I think a lot of the young guys play a lot. So no matter how long I've been playing, some of them have been playing close to as much as I've been playing. So I don't try to be like some guy that just sit and talk and give advice, because I think it's easier to sit and watch a game and say, yo, you should have did this when you did this. No, I don't like to do that. I like to just be like one of the guys. If there's something that I feel in the game they're doing that can help, I will say something. But for the most part, we have coaches. We have 3 coaches that are really good at does a good job that keep us focused in the game and telling us what we need to do in preparation for the next game. So I think for the most part, I share experiences as far as things that happen with other teams and myself. If I see someone struggling like that, yeah. But as far as the game, coach do a great job at preparing us and letting us know exactly what we need to do to give ourselves the best chance.
The reason why I ask this question is because I think you're the only one in the team. You have EuroLeague and States experience, and that's because youngsters don't have that experience, and they maybe want to hear something from that experience to take in their play.
Yeah, I mean, they normally ask about like how is it playing with certain guys, but other than that, not much.
Well, that will be our end of conversation. Thank you very much for taking some time again, and I really enjoyed our talk.
No problem. See you, brother. Thank you.